30 years of Duncan the 6th Navy gauge engine and fins, the offshot vet. The engines are working as usual, and Duncan is doing his branch line run, but he wasn't. Spike came up. Twilight's got a tail jammed from the heavy vase. Riveter just had a plant ready, but it's all gone. Twilight came up with Riveter holding her tail. I can't work like this, can you help, please? Duncan thought for a moment. Then a smile came across his face. I think I can take you someplace. There's a vet in the op shop. It might help you. Thank you. It looks like I'm away from home again. Duncan took her to the op-shop vet. Soon it was in sight. Twilight went in it to find a bed. Had I been here alone? She muttered sadly. Duncan had to stay here so he wouldn't leave Twilight alone, but his driver told him he had to do his branch line work. One night, Duncan couldn't stop thinking of Twilight. That purple pony can't stand being in the op-shop vet for this night, he told the others. The engines looked at him. They knew. He and Twilight had a strong friendship, and of course it would never get lost. I think you should visit her just to keep your missing sickness faded. So Duncan did. At the op shop, Twilight's tail was better, though she still needed to have it relaxed. She would have to mend it herself with some help from Spike. The vet's done the first part. I need Spike to help me get it better. Duncan came up. Evening, Twilight, heading home? Yes, I am, Duncan. I need Spike's help with getting my tail better. Come on, all aboard. Spike was waiting for them. Hello, Spike. Can you help with getting my tail better? Of course I can. I got the tub with the body disinfectant ready. Come on, give it a dip. Oh, it's better at last. A tail was better at last. Thanks, you two. I couldn't have done it without you. Well, our friends are glad to have you home. The next morning it was time for the ponies and Dragon to get home. Bye, Duncan. It's been nice meeting you here. You too, Twilight. Mercy. Goodbye. The engines watched as Percy took the ponies home. Cadence visits a Duncan fish railway. Duncan was taking logs to the hotel. The winter storm was coming, and people need to be snug and warm. When he came to the hotel, he had a surprise. Soaking wet from a pond was Twilight Sparkle. She caught a cold. Oh, it was as gotten sneezing. What happened to you, Twilight? Someone bumped me and I fell in the pond. Come on, I'd better take you home. Twilight was put to bed, saying, I can't stand this coldness. Here, Twilight, let me get you some hot chocolate. One day, Duncan was on his way to the flour and windmill railway to get the wheat. People need flour for this cold weather. Twilight was better just as she had a surprise. It was Princess Cadence. Hello, Twilight. I thought I'd pop in to see this Duncan Fish Railway. Hello, Cadence. Duncan just got me to bed from a cold fall. He's off to visit the tunnel and windmill railway. You told me we would visit it together, but we can't today. Not with your sneezing. Duncan had finished his delivery and was on his way home. The storm was about to come. Take it easy, Duncan, said his driver. The lines are slippery. I know they are, driver. But I want to get out of the storm. Duncan was nearly home when he hit a bump. His driver fell off. Duncan didn't know he fell out. He came along Twisted Lane. The lines are slippery, and he needed to get his speed to slow. I need to slow down, driver. But he didn't feel his driver's hand on his controls. He realized there was nobody in his cab. What can I do? I can't stop. Help! The ponies heard his cries. Uh-oh. Duncan's lost. One of us better help him. There's a punch lever outside the house. We can use it to switch him off the main line. Good thinking. There, that will stop him. Cadence switched the punch and Duncan went steaming toward an out-of-bounds siding. He went crashing in the ditch. Ah! Ah! I've never gone dunking like this. Peter's hand came out. I saw you coming along Twisted Lane. It's a good thing you didn't come along where I was. Never mind, I'll get you out. Duncan was put in the shed. He couldn't get his mouth to open. The water from the ditch was so cold, it gave him into sickness. Twilight and the friends and Cadence came to see if he was all right. Duncan, you all right, sweetie? Duncan couldn't answer. The cold was spreading and he had his eyes shut. Uh-oh. I think we'd better take him to the works. This shed with the workshop can't do much. Spikehole, having just said that, turned, gone over, and a nurse to take him to the main workshop. So they did. Well, I hope you'll be all right, Mutual Twilight. Spike began draining the water out. Then cleaned his smoke box, and lastly made his fire. The warmth warmed up every inside of Duncan. Then slowly he opened his eyes. He's waking up. He's all right. He too. What happened? You crashed in a ditch, Duncan. I've got your insides warm. Oh, thank goodness. All the colors faded. Our success is helping. Him is done. Is he all right? I'm fine, Twilight. The coldness was getting me so weak. Spike just needed to drain the water out. Thank goodness you've come back. Duncan the next day took Twilight and Cadence to the tunnel and windmill railway. Cadence seemed surprised. I didn't keep my promise to you, Twilight, because this railway was closed when I visited Tasmania, Tasman Sodor, the last time. Now it's opened again. I might have a look at what we were supposed to look at. So they did. They have been waiting years for this moment. The end of the Duncan Fish Railway decade. Duncan and his friends were doing the work on the last day in the weekend place. Duncan was sad about this decade coming to an end. He and his friends had visited this place for years, and they need help. One day Duncan went to talk to Twilight. Our railway's closing, Twilight. We've done taking the logs and people doing the shopping, but for some reason I've been concerned for years. I'm sorry to see you're stopping the work here, Duncan. I'll have a word with Celeste about this. Hello, Twilight. I didn't know you'd visit this railway. It's called the Duncan Fish Railway, mister. I wanted to tell you this. Duncan's weekend railway's coming to a close. The decade has faded. Duncan's tired of being controller. You might help run it. You're the princess after all, so you might tell them this. All right. The months passed, and by the end of the decade, which is today, Duncan and his friends were ready to leave. Excuse me, Duncan. I've had a word with Celeste and she said I'm to take your place. Percy did invite us to come here for a few days to run it. Oh, right, thank you. We think you with the ways of wanting to help with the railways, and you wanted to keep the decade alive, we might let you do it, as you're the princess. We've been wanting some person to help, but there wasn't one, so you might form a society. A person is a better know one. In other words, she knows better. Owners know better. All the engines said together, "Long live Princess Twilight Sparkle, acting as controller, giving us kindness, giving us hope. Royalty brings us to a new decade and is part of the railway community." Twilight blushed. "Oh, thank you. It's kind of you to say then." She nodded Duncan in a way of saying thank you. All the fans came to see what all the shouting was about. I'm taking Duncan's place as controller. Any princess pony like me has a heart of giving narrow gauge engine support. Well, on Twilight, we knew you'd wanted to run this railway. Celeste told us you wanted to give Duncan some way of when he took you out of the pond. We want to help too. Of running this railway, I make outfits so I can make train clothes for the drivers. We still do the work of the gods. What about us, Twilight? Well, Apple Bloom, you and your friends can help with the wheat. The first owner of the windmill retired. Great. You want to give that up shop the great cakes. Hey, I can draw the list you'll need to make sure things go all right. Oh yes, Spike. You might help with making it. All the ponies were gathered. Twilight was first to do her speech. It's been many years since we ponies have visited this Duncan railway. I'm fitted as controller. My friends have been fitted to help run the railway, and I got some list like wrote. It's for me to check things going right. Not minutes about the list. Let me give you Duncan so he can explain about how he started this work. Hello, it's great to be working, and I'm glad Twilight's taken my place. I'd like to thank the ponies, and even Percy, Thomas, James, Diesel, Sunshine, Theodore, with his friends. This land was just a plain land, and it was turned into a Mountain Railway, which is poor, so it was turned into this for us. Your road beneath us. The line is for standard and narrow gauge. I've forgotten what I called it. I have a series of me. I shared with Percy's series. We had a great success in the years. I wanted to invite Twilight and her friends to visit this place. With a bit of help from them, I felt gone. I couldn't tell that someone to take my place. And that's how I've started this workplace. Thank you, Duncan. I didn't say whatever that word was. Now, I was about to say, our person is friends of this song to show us. The song's from the Holy Daughters further down. Oka chaka, oka chaka. Oka chaka, oka chaka. Deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oka chaka, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Ah! If you're a tiger, shake your paws. If you're a lion, give a mind to roar. On like an elephant, that's your sway. On like a bird, you could just fly away. Deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oka chaka, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Ah! You can slither like a snake, or go swimming in a big blue lake, or go marching down a path, or run along like a toddler. Deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oka chaka, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Ah! Hey, let the princess sing this line. Yeah. Hey, come on, try to sing this line. Oh, no engines, do I have to? Yeah, come on, give it a go. It's easier. If you're the tiger, shake your paws. It's your line, giving my to law. All like an elephant, but you'll sway. All like a bird, you'll put the slide away. Deep in the jungle, oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oka chaka, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Ah, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oka chaka, deep in the jungle. Oka chaka, jungle, jungle. Oh, deep in the jungle. Oh, that was great. This party thing. I did enjoy this party song. And I still remember when we had our date, you showed me the choir. I loved it. Upset sick Duncan. Duncan was doing his branch line. He was doing it fine, but, well, he seemed pretty upset. You'll see, the decade nearly ended, and his boss, the station master, retired, and Twilight had to take his place to run the Duncan Fish Railway. She was a princess to help an engine in need of support. Duncan was finished and he went to rest in the windmill and tunnel railway, which was part of his railway. He just wanted to be alone to think about the first days when he started being controller and how his management ended. Oh, I nearly lost my weekend home, he thought sadly. In the sheds, the engines are ready for work, helping people with their shopping. Twilight came up. Morning, engines, she said. We have the people doing the shopping here today. Oh, there's Duncan. The engines all looked at the empty siding. Duncan's not here. I think he's upset about nearly losing the railway, Twilight. He didn't come home when he finished doing the branch line on the following. Did you say where he went? He went to our workplace. Well, Applebloom, you might find him. Go on. Off and Applebloom running. This track. Aha. I found him. Where, Applebloom? Yeah, where is he? He's down here. I found him. Oh, hello. You'll see. What are you doing here? He wanted to know why you look upset. Oh, no! Oh! Ouch! Oh, what are you not doing here? We want to know, told Duncan, and you'll need to tell our princess and why. Uh-oh. What's with you, Duncan? Oh, hello, Twilight. I didn't want to tell you because it would be stressing, but I'm upset sick. I'm sorry, Lassie. I know you don't like seeing me in this state. It's about when I nearly lost my weekend home after many years since I escaped the factory in the other railway. I didn't want to be a victim of the news ever since. I'm sorry to see you have a new bad memory about this railway nearly closed. I think we'd better have this date again. I'll take you to the pond. We can talk about your future trouble. The next day, Duncan and Twilight had a date in the wood. He told about things that had gave him trouble. So you'll see, Twilight. I've been having some thoughts about when these bad memories, including these ones, are about nearly losing my weekend home. It's part of Tasman Sobel, you're meaning, and I'm doing the work as I took your place. You're still lucky. She nuzzled him. It's just the way I'm doing this with you. Celeste told me life is life, and you have to stick with the times. Remember when Scarlet told you about when they saved your railway? Yes, I do. That's when I realized we have to keep it running. Duncan took Twilight home. They met Celeste. Hello, you two. I see you were talking about things part of life. Hello. Yes, we are, Celeste. He told me about his sad feelings. He was upset sick. Yes, Your Highness. We had a date talking about it. And Twilight told me you were thinking of when you had her to take your place. He gave me this book from Apple Bloom and Friends. Oh, that's nice. We told them about his sad time when he didn't meet George and Tanner. I still remembered. Duncan went to the shed that night. Before he and his friends slept, Twilight visited. I wanted to sleep in your cab here for the night if you don't mind. No, I don't, Twilight. There's a basket I found from the op shop. Thanks. She slept in his cab. His driver gave her a blanket. And he put some cab blinds down to keep the draft off. Oh, it's nice in here. Pleasant dreams, Nurse. That was the final episode of Duncan the 6th Narrative. Gauge Engine Season 3. This was filmed in the bird shed in White Beach. Wedge Avenue. There are no series and episodes coming today because I have retired making Duncan's series. I've run out of ideas. Look at my film message about why I've retired, so you'll understand that it won't come till it has more ideas.